see them kings on the block, bringing out the word in every spot, bringing out the word in every spot. Yeah. You see them kings on the block now, bringing out the word in every spot now, 1611, it's a Glock now, all around the world got it locked down. Yeah. You see them kings on the block now, bringing out the word in every spot now, 1611, it's a Glock now, all around the world got it locked down. Yeah. You see them prophets on them corners, 1611 got them on us. Spreading out this word like Corona.
You talk about the sermon?
Yeah.
So you hurry up. I want to show you something. What you want? Now let me show you that. Right. Let me show you something about drinking.
You got to show me.
I got you. Quick. I got you. I got 5 seconds. Right.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 27.
Right.
Wine is as good as life to a man.
Water. That's right.
Keep going.
Wine is good as life to a man.
That's right.
If it be drunk moderately.
If it be what?
If it be
Moderately.
drunk moderately.
You got to be drunk moderately, right, brother?
I like that.
You agree with that, right? You got to be drunk moderately.
All day.
So
Red
you want to be
motherfucker.
moderate.
Right, baby.
You can't be sloppy.
You can't be sloppy.
Right, keep going.
Red
29. But wine drunken with excess.
With what?
Red
Excess.
son of a bitch.
With wine drunken with excess.
Making bitterness of the mind.
That's good,
It's
Brianna.
dwelling in trouble.
Get your
Brianna.
mind all jacked up, right?
You gotta watch out. Hey, you like business.
Right?
So, y'all space.
Why you gotta do that,
Don't
brother?
give a fuck.
You messing up.
Let's go.
You gotta go.
He
gotta go. No. He just
He
disrespected
gotta
us.
go with me.
Then take him.
Let him live. I want him to go.
Yo, you a grown man.
I'm just asking.
Nah,
I'm
that's
not even on no type of time, but I'm just asking.
And then one of y'all gonna respond to me. Yeah, let's go, son.
I got you,
Brother, all I gotta tell you, brother, all I gotta tell you, we have to repent and
let's
keep the
go.
commandments, all right?
Hey, listen. Let me tell y'all something.
Fuck with us, I bet that's a bad.
You gotta repent and keep the commandments, all right?
Hey, white boy.
That's the real.
Come on, you wanna get something with your truck?
No.
All right, brother.
Look at them.
Let's get back
No,
to this.
it's not the spirit. It's not the spirit. It's they want the problems though. What we don't do, we don't give them the problem.
That's smoke. That's
Hey,
smoke.
Hey, bro,
we here
you got some
already.
fire?
We here already.
You got a lighter?
I want you to understand something. We here already. You want a roof
Let's
done?
just finish what I was
You
saying,
want
right?
your road
I said
done?
the gate, right?
The bosses.
So now, in the context,
we can hang
I
out.
asked him a simple question.
You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't combative with him. I was being nice with him. Yeah. Once he got emotional, that's when all hell broke loose. I agree with Proverbs 15:1. Right? I stopped and turned with wrath. But even after the song, after he was already getting angry. But I'm gonna show you why we can't be out here and just let people just come and think they can just shake us down and talk any type of way to us, right? Isaiah 58:1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, in verse 1.
Right?
Cry aloud.
What?
Cry aloud.
What?
Cry
The
aloud.
Bible says cry aloud. Keep going.
Spare not.
What?
Spare not.
Sparing anybody's feelings. Keep going.
Lift up thy voice
What?
lift up thy
The
voice
Bible saying lift up thy voice like a what?
like a trumpet.
Like a what?
Like a
So
trumpet.
we have to be loud. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
And show my people their transgressions.
And do what?
And show my people their
To
transgressions.
show the Israelites their transgression. You see what I'm saying? That's why in certain instances, y'all could be, like I'm talking to you now, we're not combative. He came, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know if he was there for this part, but he came up already starting problems because he didn't want to be recorded. I said, yo, you're gonna record it right here and you're gonna record it right there. He started issues already before he even said anything out of his mouth. So that's why the scripture says,
Gird up.
Right, so what we holding?
I got Sirach 20:1.
Bring that out.
There is a reproof that is not comely.
There is a reproof or there is a correction.
Just come back to the post.
Come. There's one in the
Gird up.
All right, there's one in the frankincense and myrrh bag, right? So there's a reproof that is not comely. Keep going.
Come. Some man holdeth his tongue, and he is wise.
And he is what?
And he is
All
wise.
right, sometimes you just give him silence, right? We dismissed him, told him to have a good night, but he wanted to keep going. Keep going. That's it on that? That's it on that. So we see that this is why it's important in certain contexts, like we read in Ezekiel, we have to make our head hard against their foreheads, right? Because if you do, like, go ahead.
So I was just wondering, I guess the sermon wise and like interpretation of interaction wise, when the line would kind of be drawn between, I guess, the button of the Rams versus like turning the other cheek type thing.
Right. Give me the shake the dust off your feet, right? Give me the shake the dust off your feet. And then Give me that once again back in Matthew 7 and 6, right? Because Christ said something very important. He said, like the budding of the rams, he literally said, yo, if you don't end that conversation, those same rams can come back and tear you apart, right? So you kind of want to keep the balance in that, you know what I'm saying? Now, let's read that, Matthew 7.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter
No,
7.
no. Mark 7. It's like Mark 7 and 6. That's what, you know what I want, right? I got Matthew 2. Okay, hold that, and then give me that, right?
Fine.
That's Mark.
Mark 7 and 6.
Give that us.
No, that was Matthew.
Oh, Matthew 7 and 6. Yeah, Matthew 7 and 6.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 6.
Right.
Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine,
Keep going.
lest they trample them under their feet.
Let's say do what?
Lest they trample them under their
You
feet.
get to a point where I'm giving them this holy word, but they're gonna like, I don't want to listen to that. Like you just said, walk away, right? Lest they trample them under their feet, and that's talking about the fight that's going on, right? Keep going.
And turn again and rend you.
And do what?
And rend you.
Right me, now we starting to fight. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta, and that's why you brought up the word discernment. You gotta find a place where it's like, okay, this is becoming unfruitful. I can't speak, he can't speak. We're just yelling. Okay, have a good night, or we're gonna start, we're gonna start brawling. You know what
I
I'm saying?
definitely think like there's definitely been like a lot of, especially like talking out here with a lot of like very like racist people.
Right.
There's like a point where it's
You
like
kinda gotta cut it
nothing
off.
happens.
Exactly.
But I think like the other like side to it is like he walked away and he didn't hear about his own sin and he didn't hear about the fundamental.
And I'm just gonna tell you where this is probably where we disconnect, right?
Yeah.
So, what, to your understanding, what is sin according to the Bible?
Sin, anything like breaking the commandments. You know?
Breaking God's laws, right?
Everyone's got it.
Everyone's got what?
Sin.
But sin is breaking the commandments, right?
Yeah, like being like
Right, breaking God's commandments, right?
yeah, breaking any part of the law.
Who was given the law?
Like who all of that is.
So how can everybody break a law they were never given?
Because that's just part of the fall of man.
The fall of man. So the fall of man had a law.
Yeah.
So now let's deal with that, right? The fall of man. Now after the fall of man, God was dealing with everybody's sin because it was the fall of man, right?
Yeah.
Amos 3 and 1. Right, Amos 3 and 1. And give me 1 John 3 and 4. Actually, give me y'all boys can get all right. Oh, okay, come on. And give me Psalm 47 and 19. Yeah, slow down. This is hold on. Yeah.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1.
After the fall of man, you have to see, is God now dealing with everybody's sins or our sins? Right? Right.
Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you,
Right.
O children of Israel. O children of Israel.
Right, so now this is the book of Amos, after Genesis. You say the fall of man is in Genesis, right? This is after Genesis, right? Right?
Again,
Salah. When you get on this side, actually some on this side. Gotcha.
Now, keep going.
hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Right?
Against the whole family.
Against the what?
Against the whole family,
Uh-huh.
which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying,
Right?
You only have I known.
What happened after the fall of man?
You only have I known.
You only have I known, Israel. Keep going.
Of all the families.
Of who?
Of all the families.
All the families on the whole wide earth, right? Keep going.
Of the earth.
Of the what?
Of the earth.
Of the entire planet. Keep going.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
For who?
For all your
So
iniquities.
out of all the families of the earth, he's not even worried about them. He's only punishing us for our iniquities. Now, give me this. Give me Isaiah 59 and 21. Right, Isaiah 59 and 21. And then give me that in Romans 11, the last verse, right? You shall turn away godliness from Jacob, right? Let me get that real quick. I'm going to show you another point, right? Romans 9. I want you to, now listen to this, right? Watch this. Romans 11 and 26. Now, I want you to read this, right? That's
This is
what
the
I want.
book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 26.
Right?
And so all Israel shall be saved.
All Israel shall be saved. Keep going.
As it is written,
Uh-huh.
there shall come out of Zion the deliverer,
Right?
and shall turn away ungodliness
Ungodliness is sin from who?
from Jacob.
From who?
From Jacob.
So if God was worried about the fall of man, why is he only turning away sin from Jacob?
Well, like what about those grafted into the vine?
Who's grafted in? Who was that vine?
Jesus.
Give me the book of Psalms, chapter 52, verse 8. And then give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, verse 16. Right? Because those broken branches, if a branch breaks and I put the branch back, is those branches different? If like let's say a leaf falls from the tree, right?
Yeah.
If I try to put that tree, that leaf back on that tree, is the leaf different? Just because it fell off?
No, same.
It's kind of like the branches. Yes, those branches fell and they have to be grafted back in, but they were there in the first place. People can't be grafted into something they was never grafted into in the first place. How can I return somewhere, right, if I was never there in the first place, right? So now, what you ordered?
Psalm 52:8.
Is that what I want? Come on, read that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 52, verse 8.
Give me the last verse of Romans, right? Grafted into it, right? Romans 11.
But I am like a green olive tree.
I'm like what?
A green olive tree
The Israelites was identified as those green olive trees. Keep going.
in the house of God.
In the what?
In the house of God.
Give me Jeremiah 11:16. We're going to see what that olive tree is, right? Now, give me that in the Romans, right? And give me that grafted into it. You got what I want? Right, that's it. Now watch this. This is Romans 11:23. Read that. So
Well, in Romans chapter 11 and verse 23, and they also, if they abide not still in unbelief,
Right.
shall be grafted in.
shall be grafted in because what?
For God is able to graft them in again.
No, for the first time.
Again.
If they're being grafted in again, that means they were there originally in the first place. You can't be grafted into something you were never there in the first place. Now let's see what those broken branches are. Jeremiah 11.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, verse 16.
Right.
The Lord called thy name a green olive tree.
Israel is that green olive tree. Keep going.
Fair and of goodly fruit. With the noise of the great tumult,
Right.
he hath kindled fire upon it.
He kindled fire against the tree, right? Right? He's kindled fire against the tree, which is us. Keep going.
And the branches are broken off.
And the what?
And the branches are broken off.
Israel was that broken branch. Israel had to be grafted back in, right back into that olive tree, because we're the ones that sinned, right? That's why we see all throughout the scriptures, God is only dealing with the Israelites, right? He only put the Spirit upon the Israelites. That Holy Spirit that we talk about is only be put upon the Israelites. Even in the book of Genesis, Joseph was the only man that Pharaoh knew that had the Spirit of God. Nobody else in the world. Nobody else had the Spirit of God but the children of Israel. Watch this, Jeremiah 41:38. Genesis 41:38. So even at the beginning, God has a chosen people, right? It came from Abraham, right? There you go. Thank you, brother. Right, it was Abraham to Isaac and to Jacob, right? You see what I'm saying? It was a covenant between them. It was only established. Give me that Abraham. Give me that on Psalms 106. Psalms 105. I'm not mistaken. Psalms 105. Right? Just start at verse 6. Right, so read that, King.
Genesis 41.
41:38.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 38. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such as one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of God is?
You see that? Pharaoh only told, he's like, yo, there is nobody else around me that has the Spirit of God like Joseph. And guess what Joseph was? He was a Hebrew. He was an Israelite. So we see even in the book of Genesis, the only people that could even have the Spirit of God in their body, in their soul, was the children of Israel. It never was the other nations. Right. You see what I'm saying? In the book of Genesis, after the fall of man. You see what I'm saying? He only dealt with the Israelites. What's the name? You know what I'm saying? Cairo.
So what's your favorite verse in the Bible?
My favorite verse? Give me the book of 1 John 5:3. Well, actually, give me 2 Samuel 7:24. I'm gonna show you I'll start at verse 22. I'm gonna show you my favorite verse. 2 Samuel 7:23. And then I want to see if there's any bit more on that follow. Did I ever get that Isaiah 59? Give me Isaiah 59:21.
You know my favorite verse is?
Don't say John 3:16.
Matthew 6:24.
Matthew 6:24. It's those 13 masters. Right.
God said to the disciples, you have a desire to follow me. Deny yourself.
Right.
Pick up that cross.
Right. That's right. But that's not Matthew 6:24.
That's Matthew 16:24.
16-24?
Check it.
Hey, I'm glad that you at least pulling the scripture. The last brother didn't want to pull no scripture.
You know
You see that?
my middle name is?
What, brother? Corinthians? Show me your ID right now. Prove that.
Second Corinthians 5:10 says.
All right. Well, let me show you my favorite verse. 2 Samuel 7:22.
This is from the 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 23.
Right.
And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Israel,
Right.
whom God went to redeem for a people to himself,
Right.
and to make him a name,
Right.
and to do for you great things and terrible, for thy land before thy people,
Right.
which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt,
Right.
from the nations and their gods.
Verse 24.
For thou hast confirmed to thyself
God has made the confirmation. He confirmed that what?
He already made it.
thy people Israel.
Thy people who?
Thy people Israel.
Thy people Israel. Keep going.
To be a people unto thee
Uh-huh.
forever.
For how long?
Forever.
So God's chosen people is the Israelites forever.
Hey,
and I want to deal with one more point. I said 59 to 24.
All we got to do, price has already been paid.
Right.
All we got to do is labor.
Yeah, we got to labor. That's right. We got to repent and keep the commandments, right?
We got to labor.
And keep the
I'm
commandments.
saying, young blood. I'm 61 years old.
Yeah.
I went to church all my life. I only know 3 scriptures out of the whole Bible.
Right.
So I went to this program called Real Life Ministry.
Right.
I learned the Bible.
All right.
You know, I went to church all my life.
I got you, brother.
Didn't know nothing about the Bible.
Absolutely. That's why we got to come out there and teach our people.
Well, it's cold, hell is hot. Prosper in the law, call it jackpot. Never sell your soul, this is food for thought. Martyr for the Lord, Hebrew juggernaut.